here in the Ford Indoor Practice Facility because it's raining outside today. It feels like we live in the Pacific Northwest today.
Yeah, it's a soggy day in Boulder, and we need it. Everybody says this every time it rains here, right? Like, oh, we need the rain. We're grateful for it, but we really do. And I'm glad it's today, and hopefully it's not on game day.
Despite the weather, we're still doing better than Mike Gundy. Fired early this season. Those folks down in Stillwater have not covered a coaching search in a very long time.
Yeah, what is this, 21 seasons, something like that? It's been a long time, and crazy. I mean, we were talking about this before. Like, it's been one of the strangest and drops that I've seen. I mean, 2023 they're in the Big 12 title game, and it looks like they are, with Oklahoma and Texas leaving the Big 12 after that season, they're poised to be the marquee program in this conference with everybody coming back in 2024, and they're a disaster in 24 and now a disaster in 25. I just can't believe. I'm sure the people down there that watch it closer can't believe it even more than me, but like from afar, like I can't believe how far it's dropped in just a year and a half, really.
Yeah, and it's came off a little hypocritical, some of the comments that Mike Gundy made, because T. Boone Pickens had them at the front of the arms race of the facilities back in the day. Yeah. And now that NIL has come here, they're not quite as competitive in that space. That was one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but he clearly had a lot of success there. And there's part of me that goes, maybe he deserves an opportunity to be able to finish the season out based on what he's done for that community.
Yeah, I mean, 18 straight bowl games up until last year. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I don't know where it ranked. I think it was one of the top 5 longest streaks, and a lot of 10-win seasons in there. A lot of 11, 12-win seasons. I mean, the Buffs they've seen the good and the bad side of Oklahoma State. Just since leaving the conference. I mean, obviously the 2016 Alamo Bowl, Oklahoma State looked really good. Again, you talk about all the money. Oklahoma State was one of the kings of all the uniforms, right? They had so many uniform changes, and then last year's Oklahoma State team was just CU caught them at the tail end of what was just a miserable season and beat them 52-0, which had you told me last July they were going to beat Oklahoma State 52-0, I wouldn't have believed it. But it's probably time. I agree with you. Maybe he deserves to finish the season, but for him, maybe he doesn't want to. I don't know. He's been around so long, and maybe he's just kind of tired of all this as well.
If you're a Colorado fan, you say, I wish Oklahoma State was on the schedule this year. Instead, they've got BYU coming to town this weekend. It's going to be a tough matchup because we saw what this program, BYU's program, is capable of out in San Antonio in December.
Yeah, and a lot of different faces. BYU lost some really key players, some to the NFL, some to the transfer portal. I mean, there was a couple guys that CU was trying to get, Keelan Marion, and who's the linebacker that went to Cal? I can't remember, Harrison. I can't remember
his name right now.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. But there was those couple guys that came and visited CU that they tried to get. They left BYU, and then of course the quarterback situation. That the kid that was kind of the heart of that team last year has some off the field issues. Is going to be suspended and is now balling out. Jake Retzlaff for Tulane. So they got a young quarterback, and so that could be an equalizer in this game. But he's played well.
Yeah, I asked Amari McNeill if there's any extra meaning to this game because of what happened, and there are so many new faces in this program, in BYU's program as well. Maybe not so much, but that was a tough evening for this program, and BYU is a program that is just a tough matchup. It feels like for Colorado.
Yeah, it is, and they're physical, and we've seen the Buffs struggle against physical teams, and that's BYU. They were known for so long for, I guess, finesse and throwing the ball, which they can still do, but they're a tough physical football team now, and that's kind of what they're known for under Kalani Sitake, and they can run the ball. They play tough defense, and those types of teams give CU fits, and so that's one as we get into predictions later this week. It's BYU's favorite for a reason, because that's the type of team they are and that CU struggles with.
They also haven't played anybody BYU. This is not a battle-tested team that's going to be coming out here to Boulder. So we'll get more into that. In terms of personnel updates, it sounds like Jordan Seaton and Zy Chrysler are going to play this week. Not sure about DeKalen Taylor or Simeon Price. And Coach Prime said that they've got kind of a contingency plan at that position in place.
Yeah, and I asked about Draylon Miller, and he said, "Well, we've got a plan." So we've seen Draylon there in the past. This could be a week that we see him there again. You know, it's interesting because I know this is a walk-on, but like I don't know if you've noticed in pregame, like Ronald Coleman, the receiver, has been doing warm-ups with the running backs, and so and obviously they brought in a few walk-on running backs. One already left the team. I think he was only here about a week. They brought in a couple walk-on running backs 2 weeks ago to really bolster that position. They're going to have to go deep, and we were worried about that position because they only had 4 scholarship guys. Well, 2 of them got hurt last week. A third one is just coming back from injury in Dallin Hayden and looked pretty solid in 2 runs last week. But I would expect that what we'd see is a lot of Dallin Hayden, a lot of Michael Welch, and then sprinkle in Draylon Miller, Cam Michael, maybe a few different guys. Maybe Isaiah Harge. He's another one that we've talked about in the past. That he had that spring game where he played running back and he looked great. And so maybe that's a plan as well.
Still not sure if R.J. Johnson's going to get back in the mix, and they're going to have to be without Anquin Barnes on the defensive line early in the game. But we had a chance to talk to Amari McNeill, like I said, and he's starting to kind of reemerge. You know, he had a really nice 3-4 week stretch last year and then got hurt at the end of last season and was kind of quiet early this season and is now starting to come on. Yeah,
and he's one that when he's focused and on point, he's really good. And Coach Prime pretty much said as much. So it's not just Amari, but he said you can tell with Amari, if he does it in practice, we're going to see it in the game. And if he doesn't, we're not going to see it in the game. And he says I'm constantly on Amari because I love that kid. I know he's got potential. I think Amari maybe needed a little kick in the butt a little bit early this season, and maybe Brandon Davis Swain taking over that starting job, the freshman. Amari McNeill is a senior. I would have penciled him in as a starter, but there it was. Brandon Davis Swain. Maybe that little fire under him a little bit, but he played well last week.
We also had a chance to talk to receiver Sincere Brown. When he told us in the preseason that he runs a 4.3, I'm thinking in the back of my head he probably runs a 4.5, right? Because he's 6'5". 6'5" guys don't run 4.3s. But he got up to 22.3 miles per hour according to some analytics account on Twitter. I guess maybe I need to vet them a little bit, but he was flying. There's no doubt about it.
Well, there was also that somewhere on social media I found there was a list of they clocked guys at UCF a few years ago, and he was faster than Jimmy Horn on that. And so I don't know where that graphic is, but I found it. I remember seeing it somewhere in this offseason that he clocked faster than Jimmy Horn and Xavier Weaver. They were all on the team at the same time. And so when I saw that, I was like, well, if that's true, this kid's going to be really fast. And so, he that 71-yard touchdown he had against was it Delaware, and then the one the other night, it was like you see the Jets on there, like that kid's pretty fast.
There was a Wyoming defensive back that was flying too on that play. He was almost kind of gaining ground at one point on Sincere, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Sincere, man, 6'5" and with that type of speed, he should be making big plays, right? And so we've seen a couple of them already. I know the Buffs would like to see more of those, but he's definitely a legit threat and a guy that should be making more plays.
Yeah, Coach Prime said we're trying to make him shine like a Christmas tree, and he's one of those guys that you think is just going to keep getting better this season. It feels like.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've got so many good receivers on this team, but he feels like the guy that when it's all said and done, I feel like he's going to be the guy with the most yards and most touchdowns.
All right, we'll get more into this matchup against BYU as we have more analysis following Wednesday's practice.